I have something delicious for you today that has been causing disturbances in the music business. Supposedly, the unbelievable Jay-Z, one of the titans of hip bounce, has been hushing a few people who guarantee he's gay. Yet not every one of them on the grounds that few popular characters were not scared of him, and offered a few extremely striking expressions. No doubt you heard that right, so on the off chance that you're up for some hot tea and captivating disclosures about Jay-Z. Stay close by, this will be one amazing ride. Greetings everybody, and welcome back to Celeb Live, channel your one-stop objective for all the most smoking VIP tattle today. We're going behind the music, diving into a few frightening cases that have surfaced about Jay-Z. It's a story of mystery, social orders debates, and industry power elements, from the frank 50 penny to the baffling Puma. Right, numerous industry figures are shouting out, and they're not keeping down. Has Jay-Z been carrying on with a twofold existence? And is there a mysterious story about his sexuality that he's been striving to stifle? Okay, how about we make a plunge the hip bounce industry, including 50 penny Panther Wright and Jazzo have been tossing around certain cases about Jay-Z's sexuality. This has caused a stir and got individuals talking, making this subject a hot conversation point. Leading, we should visit about what 50 Penny has been talking about. You presumably know him for his strong and unfiltered remarks. And this time he has Jay-Z in his sights. The pictures "I'll be home, we need to" seem to be a gay painter. He's gone on record saying that Jay-Z is attempting to depict himself like Basquiat, the renowned gay painter. Huge home slice, going around attempting to seem to be a gay craftsman. 50 Penny said these remarks could sound extraordinary to some, yet they most certainly stoked the fire and made individuals question Jay-Z's public picture. Now Puma Wright has additionally joined this discussion. She's known for her activism and her obligation to talking her reality, no matter what the potential kickback. Concentrates on unfamiliar. Recently, she's been vocal about her conviction that Jay-Z might be concealing his actual sexual direction. As she said, "I've been around Jay long enough, seen things that simply didn't make any sense. It resembles he's wearing a veil, and under there's something else altogether. He has a reality he's reluctant to define." Next up is Jazzo, a craftsman who has known Jay-Z for quite a while, even before his long periods of distinction. He is doing the offering of his lords, and he's working really hard. Jazzo has made a few charming cases that include Jay-Z and mystery social orders with expected connections to homosexuality. He said, "I've known Jay for quite a long time, man. He generally projected one picture, yet there were minute slips, things that indicated there was more going on. We as a whole got mysteries. Yet they may be greater than we naturally suspected." His remarks appear to add an entirely different layer to the discussion and focus on parts of Jay-Z's life that individuals could not completely see yet. It's not only these three figures adding their voice to the reports. Hypotheses about Jay-Z's sexuality have been around for some time now, and they have forever been met with interest. And some of the time contention, you have individuals addressing Jay-Z's way of life, decisions, his public appearances, and surprisingly, the imagery in his verses and collections makes what is happening fascinating. However, is the unmistakable quality individuals making these cases. We're discussing persuasive figures in the hip bounce industry, individuals who have worked intimately with Jay-Z or have had critical communications with him. Their remarks hold a specific weight, and this evidently affects the public view of Jay-Z. In all of this, one can't resist the urge to consider the potential ramifications these cases could have on Jay-Z's standing. After all, Jay-Z a heavyweight in the business, and hypotheses about his own life, particularly ones as private as his sexuality, could cause a critical change by the way he is seen. Jay-Z,
So I think
they actually
assembly.
harbor some energy towards now. It's memorable, essential that these are charges they could hold some reality, or they may be totally unwarranted. Yet the reality stays that they are out there, adding a dubious twist to Jay-Z's public persona. One needs to ponder the inspirations driving these cases. Are these figures looking for consideration? Or are they really attempting to uncover a side of Jay-Z's that they accept general society has a privilege to be aware of its hard-to-recognize reality in the midst of all the hypothesis and prattle? So there you have it, the cases earned by a 50-penny Puma right. And Jazzo have, without a doubt, blended the pot and started a more extensive conversation about Jay-Z's sexuality. As these discussions keep on advancing the reality of the situation, will come out at some point what influence they will have on Jay-Z's public picture and the hip jump industry. All in all, okay, now that we've set the stage, how about we stall these cases a smidgen more and investigate their potential effect? So leading we have 50 penny contrasting Jay-Z with Basquiat now been was straightforwardly gay, and there's a sure dauntlessness and trustworthiness to that 50 pennies guarantee here implies that g-eazy, like Basquiat, could likewise be carrying on with a life that is consistent with a sexuality, regardless of whether it's not what people in general accepts. That is the point at which I begin saying insane stuff. Since I love looking, I go gracious. I ought to be home, continuing on toward Panther writer cases about Jay-Z possibly concealing his sexuality are really immediate. She doesn't avoid the real issue. She's fully recommending that Jay-Z could be carrying on with a daily existence that isn't consistent with his sexuality. Now these cases could stir up Jay-Z's standing a little on the off chance that individuals begin accepting them. It could prompt a change by the way they see him. Puma explanations likewise challenge the way of life of quietness that frequently encompasses discussions about sexuality in the hip bounce industry. By voicing her convictions so transparently, she may be pushing for additional straightforwardness and genuineness inside the business. This could start an adjustment of how discussions about sexuality are dealt with in the hip jump world, prompting more acknowledgement and understanding. Next up is Jazzo, who's gone a cycle further with his cases, getting components of mystery social orders. Now this adds a charming turn to the discussion, as it proposes that Jay-Z's sexuality could be restricted with strong and secret imaginative gatherings. Anyone who observed all the recording, they fundamentally set up it, that the heading doesn't be guaranteed to mean currently we should discuss the general effect these cases could have. Sure, they're creating a ruckus, and they're placing Jay-Z at the center of attention. Yet it's not just about Jay-Z. These discussions could prompt a change in how the hip jump industry and society overall sees and discusses sexuality. We should not disregard the effect on Jay-Z's fan base. His fans admire him, and these cases might actually impact their discernments and convictions. Some could scrutinize their faithfulness, while others could remain by him significantly more firmly in a manner. This could make a gap inside his fan base, prompting different responses and discussions among his fans. And it's not only the fans. These claims might actually have suggestions for Jay-Z's coordinated efforts and organizations inside the business, relying upon how his kindred specialists respond. This could prompt new collusions or cause rifts. This theory, encompassing Jay-Z's sexuality, could have a cascading type of influence, affecting something beyond his own life anyway. It's memorable, pivotal that these cases are yet to be affirmed or denied by Jay-Z himself. Up to that point, they stay a theory, adding to the puzzler that is Jay's. A definitive effect of these claims generally relies heavily on how Jay-Z answers and how general society deciphers his reaction by the day's end. These cases have ignited a discussion that is a lot greater.